Let's dive right into this explainer and transform what feels like a completely daunting technical checklist into a crystal clear, empowering roadmap for your film's distribution. Because, let's be real, if you're a filmmaker, you already know that pouring your heart and soul into the script, surviving the shoot, and grinding through the edit, well, that's really only half the battle. Getting it actually seen by an audience, that's the other half. So today we're totally decoding the exact technical requirements you need to successfully upload your film to major OTT platforms without hitting any of those incredibly frustrating technical roadblocks.
Think about the ultimate dream for a second. We're talking about the holy grail here. Getting your hard work seamlessly streaming on leading platforms like Prime Video, Netflix, Disney+, Hotstar, Sony Live, and Z5. That is absolutely the goal for every modern creator. But here's the catch. To get your art onto their massive servers, we have to speak their technical language perfectly. No exceptions.
To make this as easy as possible, we've broken it down into a clear roadmap. We'll start with the global streaming dream, then cover mastering your visual canvas, nailing audio and subtitles, optimizing your file data, running through a final pre-flight checklist, and finally, getting ready for the world. Let's get to it.
Okay, Section 1, Mastering your visual canvas. Let's translate these dry numbers into the actual palette of your film. First up, let's establish the baseline expectations for your film's resolution. Now, providing a 1920 by 1080 Full HD file is the absolute bare minimum requirement to even be considered by a platform. But, and this is huge, delivering a 3840 by 2160 4K UHD file is highly recommended. Why? Simple. You want to future-proof your art. These platforms want to offer the absolute highest fidelity possible to their premium subscribers. So delivering in 4K, that puts your film in the best possible position to truly shine.
Digging a bit deeper into the visuals, we have to lock down the core formatting rules. First off, keep your container format to the universally loved MP4, utilizing the H.264 or AVC codec. Next up, you really want to aim for a 69 aspect ratio. Yes, some specific platforms might accept other cinematic ratios, but 69 is overwhelmingly preferred for home viewing. And finally, color space. You need to lock that to Rec. 709. You can get away with an 8-bit minimum for HD content, but if you're delivering a 4K file, you absolutely must step that up to 10-bit. This is crucial because it ensures those deep blacks and vibrant colors you spent weeks painstakingly grading look exactly as you intended on the viewer's TV.
Let's talk frame rates, 24, 25, or 30. The absolutely crucial point here is that you must export exactly as per your original source footage. Do not, I repeat, do not try to mathematically convert a 24-frame cinematic film into a 30-frame television broadcast file at the very end of your pipeline. Just keep the frame rate native to whatever you shot on set. Otherwise, you're going to introduce some incredibly jarring playback issues, and nobody wants that.
Moving right along to Section 2, Nailing Audio and Subtitles. Let's see how sound and text build a truly immersive experience.
Here's the thing, your visuals might be absolutely stunning, but compromise sound? That will instantly pull a viewer right out of your story. Your audio needs to be exported in the AAC format. Now, you do have the flexibility of delivering either a standard stereo 2.0 mix or a massive, immersive 5.1 surround mix, depending entirely on your film's sound design. But please remember, the primary language track you submit must be the original audio of the film.
And right alongside that beautiful audio is the text component. You absolutely must provide subtitles, and they need to be perfectly formatted as standard SRT files using UTF-8 encoding. Honestly, providing English subtitles is virtually mandatory if you want to reach a global audience. Though, actually, if you have additional languages ready to go in separate SRT files, that is a fantastic bonus. It dramatically opened up your film to non-native speakers around the world.
All right, Section 3, Optimizing your file data. We need to tackle the actual pipeline that delivers your movie.
So, bitrate. This is simply the amount of data your file is allowed to process every single second. And notice how it jumps significantly based on your resolution. For a standard 1080p HD file, you're looking at a required data rate of between 8 to 12 megabits per second. But look at that massive leap for 4K. If you're delivering that highly recommended 4K file, your data needs literally double, jumping all the way up to 20 to 40 megabits per second. You simply have to give the file enough data bandwidth to render all of those extra beautiful pixels without any ugly artifacting.
And what kind of bitrate should you be using? You want constant bitrate, or CBR. This is the encoding method strongly recommended by OTT platforms because it uses a fixed, consistent amount of data per second throughout the entire video file.
Platforms vastly prefer a CBR because that steady, unwavering stream of data is what guarantees consistent streaming quality for the viewer sitting on their couch, preventing those annoying sudden drops in resolution when the action on screen gets heavy. Almost there, Section 4, the final pre-flight checklist. These are the strict administrative checks you cannot skip.
It sounds crazy, but a simple thing like file naming matters immensely. You literally cannot just upload a file called final_edit_v7. You must use the precise format shown here, the title of your film, underscore, your name, underscore, and the resolution. Why? Because these platforms use massive automated ingestion systems. They need this exact prescribed structure to accurately process and catalog your work without a human ever having to intervene.
Beyond the file name, here are a few critical administrative notes to double-check before you hit upload. Make sure your file is not encrypted, and it absolutely cannot be password protected. Remember, an automated server cannot type in a password to watch your film. Also, scrub through your timeline one last time to ensure you haven't accidentally left any timecodes or export watermarks on the screen. The platforms require completely clean content. And finally, provide perfectly accurate metadata and artwork. Keep in mind, at the end of the day, it's that cover artwork and your quick synopsis that actually convince a browsing viewer to click play.
Section 5. Ready for the world? Let's look at the incredible payoff of doing all this correctly.
You might be wondering, why meticulously follow all these exact specs? Well, by adhering strictly to this guide, you guarantee a significantly higher chance of approval right out of the gate, and that leads directly to faster onboarding onto the platform itself. Because you precisely optimized your bitrate and resolution, you're ensuring way better streaming quality with zero buffering hiccups. And the ultimate prize for all this hard work, you get to immediately reach massive global audiences completely seamlessly.
So we arrive at our final, vital question. You've perfected your story, you've agonized over every single cut in the edit, but is your actual file truly ready for the world? Take this roadmap we've walked through in this explainer, check those export settings one last time against these exact parameters, and upload your cinematic masterpiece with total, unwavering confidence. The world is waiting for your story. So, what are you going to show them?